the backup computer going there. Okay. So let me share the screen. All right. Let's go. So welcome people to Marketing and Manifesting Your Business. This is a free webinar about learning how to become a spiritual entrepreneur, and this applies not just to healers, but pretty any conscious business. Okay. And my name is Nicolas David, man for the Center for Conscious Ascension. So for you guys who are playing wallflowers at the moment, if you change your mind, you want to participate, just put your hand up, electronic hand, you can participate, or you happily stay in the background, okay? Whatever works for you. And you can also post questions in the chat at the bottom as we go along, okay? So let's have a look here. So let's start. So, and this was originally focused for healers, okay? But the principles apply to any small conscious business that we're going to do here. Okay? So many people who have asked me, how do I market Center for Conscious Ascension, which is what the CFCA stands for. And my mission is to help you manifest your mission. In this case, we've got two artists here, all right? And I'm going to share the secrets of how I market and manifest Center for Conscious Ascension, all right? And because you're not directly in the healing business, but probably more indirectly with art and things, some of this will apply to what you're doing, okay? All right, but I will talk about other things because other practitioners may watch this later. I'll talk about other things which we do, which will apply to them, but most of this you can use, okay? All right, so that's why I'm here, to help you get out there with your business, manifest your mission, because I used to sit in a glass box in the city in London, the corporate world, about 27 years ago, helping someone else make a lot of money. And then I decided that I wanted to do my own thing, help other people rather than just working on the bottom line, which is why I'm here. So I do this because I love doing it, not because I have to do it. I love doing it. So I want to find out why you guys are here. So if you just say your names and what brought you here, then I get a feel. We're setting intention for the mini workshop. Okay, so who wants to go first? You can just put your hand, wave at me or whatever. Okay, Mario.
Hi everyone, and thanks Nicolas for this opportunity. I wasn't prepared. I was thinking I'm gonna listen in the background, but the opportunity comes up, so you know.
It's right here. So.
The universe knocked the conference, so you know. So yeah, I wasn't really prepared, but now I realize it's quite fitting because I left a job of 20 years in May. In distribution in the business of film and television, and I just started like a month and a half ago to really go deep into my artistic practice, which is I'm doing at the moment videos that I upload on short videos that I upload on YouTube. So since with some messages, they're a bit I consider them activations, declarations, but also there's a few sentences and some images that I found online, and I pair them up with some music and I post them up on YouTube. So I've been doing one every day, all of July. So I'm on it as a mission kind of thing to see where it goes, to see how my expression and practice expands. And parallel to that, I've been learning tarot reading.
Yeah.
And this Sunday is like the first time I'm gonna go to a local bar and offer quick readings to the people who go there. So very quickly I started learning it, and it came okay. I want to practice, and I like the vibe of this venue. I'm gonna go, and I spoke to the people who work there, and they said, yeah, why don't you try next Sunday? And I'm like, okay, great. So they asked me for some information about me and my experience, but I'm just learning. So that's why I was interested, because it's marketing and this is a service that I will be offering, and you know, but I'm still kind of figuring it all out in my head. Okay, what is tarot? They come and ask me like, So now it's all kind of falling into place and happening and manifesting at the same time in real time. So this is probably part of it. So yeah.
Well, you're in the perfect place because this is what this is designed for people who are just starting off in
Yeah.
these small businesses. To
So I hope me going to the bar and starting to put myself out there will also evolve into some kind of business proposition. So it's both the art project and also the tarot reading. So
yeah, well, you definitely are a good fit then. So
there you go.
you're right, you're in the right place. So where are you based?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. Okay. All right. Leo, we know where you're based.
Yeah, you know
Charlie,
that.
we
Yeah.
know that now. So what's brought you here?
Well, yeah. Um, I have a large body of mandala paintings and work that I've been sitting on for years, and I understand that they're quite important and they need to go out into the world, but I'm not, I have a kind of allergy to marketing or anything to do with publicity or anything like that. So I've always sort of hoped it would happen on its own, but it kind of isn't. And I was in India. I've only moved here recently from India, and I got various items printed last year. I had the mandalas printed onto bags and bottles and the jigsaw puzzle and various other items, and I think they look fantastic. But I didn't man. I put them in a few sales in India and in markets in Goa and things, and nothing was happening. It just isn't really working. And then I also have I've done an oracle deck, a full oracle deck, or I think more of a meditation deck with 70 cards of all 70 of the designs. And I had three copies of that printed just before I left India. And I've come to Ubud, which of all places in the world is probably just about the best place to try to kind of market a deck. And there are people around who are doing that kind of thing, but I don't know what to do. So, and I don't know how to get the deck out into the world either. And I have very little money. That's the other thing. So, yeah.
That seems to be a constant as well.
Okay.
That is going to be.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be a barrier. It doesn't have to be a barrier. And that is very good. You're definitely in the right place because you're offering spiritual product
Yeah,
in
spiritual
mandala.
art kind of
So
thing. Yeah.
you're in the right place. That's fine. You both
And I
are.
also, at this moment, I have an experiment on my kitchen table where I've been doing the Masara Emoto rice experiment. I ran it once before where I placed little jars of rice on one of them on a mandala painting and the two not. And the one on the mandala painting stayed beautiful and the other two went rotten. So I'm now running a bigger experiment like that. So if I discover there's really kind of healing qualities, then that might be a way to market the work as well.
Are you videoing that
I
and
can't, I'm not good with video. I'm taking photographs and things. I mean, it may be another trial run. I may have to do another one more properly where I really do video it because
what sort of phone?
I've
What sort
never
of phone?
been
What sort of phone?
comfortable with video.
What sort of
Sorry?
phone? What sort of phone have you got? What sort of smartphone have you got? Can you hear me? Oh, you're frozen.
She froze.
She might have dropped out.
She really is not good with the video.
No, it went down. I'm back. I'm back. I think.
Okay, so what sort of phone have you got? What sort of?
Oh, I've got a dreadful phone. I need to get a new. I'm having so many tech issues at the moment as well. I've got a little old Xiaomi phone, Redmi.
Okay,
And
you
I want a
need
camera. I really want a
you need a
camera,
better
but I
phone
don't feel
than
like I can afford to buy a camera at the moment. I do need to get another phone, but
yeah
my Mac is also giving me problems. So there's a bit of a sort of priorities thing going on
yeah
at the moment.
yeah
So
yeah. It sounds
yeah.
like you've got an interesting product there. So okay, Eleanor, you just joined us. Do you want to just turn your mic on so I can have a quick chat to you? Only if you want to. So just that you're in the attendee room, and you can just sit and watch if you like. If you'd like to participate, it's like a mini workshop in marketing, spiritual marketing, then you'll get a lot more out of it. But just let me know, okay? And we can move you to the panelist room where these other two brave souls are going to engage, find out why they're really here. You get a lot more out of it by engaging, but that's entirely up to you guys. So Alan and Chat, you can just put your electronic hand up if you want to engage a bit more, or even just talk without the camera. Okay. Thank you, Cleo and Mario. We made a good start. So not so far removed from what we're doing after all. Okay. All right. So becoming a spiritual entrepreneur. This is not a trick question. This is more about getting into the right mindset, which is the key to this whole thing of what you both want to do, or all of you want to do. So what do you think that is, you guys? And there's no wrong answer here. I'm trying to understand where your thought process is and help you get into the right mindset to make your businesses successful. Who would like to have a shot at saying what they think this
So
is?
what's the question again?
What do you think a spiritual entrepreneur is, Mario? Just give it your best shot. I'm stimulating some thinking here, which is the key to a small business. You've got to get your thinking right.
To kind of champion something that you believe in, or some ideas you're working on, and you're trying to expand it in some way and share it with the collective, something like that.
That sounds good. All right. Cleo, what's your take on that?
That it's putting work out that has a spiritual intent behind it and with a kind of a spiritual outlook. Like for me, I'm hard business. I couldn't go into it with a hard business spirit, but with a sort of more balanced, ethical, I don't know quite what to call it, but more awake approach to the businesses would also be part of it.
Yeah, you've nailed it. That's what we're going to talk a bit about that. So, okay. It's someone, this is my opinion, someone who's actualizing their soul journey through the expression of their soul purpose through their spiritual business. The business is your external workshop. It's your journey of life, of spiritual life. It's not just to pay the bills like it is for a lot of people. It's something that brings you joy because your soul's growing from that process. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So how do you become one? What do you guys think? How do you become one?
You just accept yourself to be one. Maybe that's the first step to manifest it.
Yeah, we have to take some actions, though, you see, to actually become a conscious entrepreneur, like Cleo was saying, about doing business with integrity, not just to make money, but to deliver a gift to the world with integrity. That's basically what you're saying, weren't you, Cleo? So it doesn't do any damage to the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also like maybe to embody what you believe in, or to live what you preach.
Yeah. What do you think, Cleo? Let's build upon what you said already.
I'm thinking, I don't know how you become one. I mean, you already are that kind of person, I would think, if that's how you're thinking. So on one level, you're already one, but how you actually start kind of functioning in a business-like way when you've just been, in my case, very much an artist is not obvious to me.
Yeah, well, you're in the right place then. Okay. You begin with the end in mind. So Cleo, what's the end in mind? All these mandalas are hanging out, not doing much. What's the end in mind?
The end in mind is to usher the mandalas out into the world in whichever is the most applicable, or preferably the various different formats or forms I have in mind, in order that the message, the codes that they're carrying can reach out into the world and reach people and make the world more beautiful.
There you go. Yeah, you always begin with the end in mind. Then we figure out how to get there. Okay, Mario, what are you thinking? What's your end in mind?
It's very similar to Cleo's, but with the short videos that I'm making online. It's to get them out there and to spread them, hopefully so that people can see if they connect with whatever declaration, vibration I have encoded in the video as well.
Okay. Good. Okay. The end in mind is delivery of a gift of service to the world, which is what you both said. Okay, so, all right. Now, this is the important bit, okay? To your dream client avatar that you love working with, and they love working with you. In other words, your ideal client. That's just fancy marketing terminology. So you've got to find the right type of people who are going to love your tarot readings, okay, and your videos, Mario, and who love your mandalas, Cleo. That's the key, all right? Because when you have your gift of service, and when you have your dream client avatar, gift of service, when they meet, that's called a business, okay?
Yeah.
So today, and the rest is the detail. So today we're going to talk about more about the gift of service and more about the dream client avatar. Who are those people? And how do we connect the two together to form a business? Okay. And this work is about delivering with consciousness this gift of service to the dream client avatar. So these spiritual services and art and things is a very feminine energy, but we have to wrap enough of the masculine structure around it. We have to wrap enough masculine business structure around it so that this reaches these guys. Like you have to tell them, for example, somehow, okay? And in a way that is designed to just say, look, here's what I've got. This might interest you. Not obviously pushing really hard, which is what you see in normal business to sell something. You're sharing your gift, not selling a product. And they just happen to need to exchange the money for that. It's a different approach. So focusing on serving someone with your gift rather than just trying to make money out of what you're doing. It's a completely different mindset. Okay. And this is why most of us have seen businesses being really dirty because all they're doing is just trying to maximize return on their investment, which is the energy of most businesses. But this is more maximizing return on consciousness through mandalas and tarot readings, YouTube transmissions. So it's a different approach altogether. So this is all about mindset here. And people will feel that. They'll feel that from you. Okay. So, what is your gift of service to the world? What are you most passionate about and love to do? Okay. Right. And this is found in your soul contract, physical and spiritual karmic aspects and soul destiny. This is the Hebrew numerology we use to help people understand, what their karmic patterns are, especially because in our karmic patterns, physical and spiritual, which is set in place by our soul, we have the greatest challenges we face in our life. And within that, and if we can, our ego is very pain averse, so it's going to turn away from that challenge. Okay. As you might have noticed, you guys have been around a while. You notice most people turn away from the challenges and their lives aren't too happy. But the idea is to turn into the challenge and face it and bring consciousness to it and transform it. And if you transform it, out of that comes your gift of service. It comes your service to the world because it's a thing you've had to earn the hard way. And so you value it enormously. I mean, for example, and one of my physical karmic challenges is feeling very unworthy to be loved and very shy when I was young. So I had to overcome all that to become a communicator, a teacher, an author. And if I hadn't had to work on it, I couldn't have become what I'm here to really do, you see. So also in our soul destiny, what our soul really wants to do, and mine is to help, is to come into my power so I can empower others. The soul contract will tell you that. Have either of you had your soul contract reading, Mario or Cleo?
I ordered it from the center, like the basic one.
Okay.
I have it somewhere.
Yeah, Cleo, you had yours?
No, we did about talking to Robin the other day, and we did about like 1 minute of I think we went into my name, the name I normally go by, and he said, "Oh no, that's not a good name at all." And he said something about needing to reclaim my power, but that's all. That's as far as it got. I don't think anything else was
Okay. Well, that'll be worth looking at. I'll post some links so you can find out about it down there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just want to poke Robin a bit and get him to tell you a bit more.
Well, he was going to, but he's very tired, I think, because we were going to do it in these days here, but he's now sort of backed off and saying he needs a break. So
Yeah.
I was hoping he could at least give me the computerized version, maybe
Yeah.
the sort of line version of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a PDF of mine, but
Yeah. Yeah. You should better keep you that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an exercise in pairs, okay, to help each other get to your true gift of service. Okay, and the way this works is you'll have 20 minutes, and we're gonna do it right here in this room here because we don't have to go into a breakout room. And you're going to take turns, you guys, and I want you to do your best. One of you is going to go first. Decide who's going to go first, and you're going to basically ask. You're going to ask your partner. You can ask your partner, what is your gift of service? And you give the best description you can for what you have now. Okay? And we're trying to find out where you are now. Then and the person who's listening writes down the key points. It's very important to write it down. Don't try and just remember them, write it down. Okay, because as you speak, as you talk about your gift of service, it's going to emerge out of your subconscious and out of the soul. It's going to become clearer. Because most of the time we're going around in our heads just thinking about this all the time. Okay. And by having someone else witness and listen to you, what will happen then is that once you've finished, it takes at least 3 or 4 minutes, they're going to read back, they're going to say to you, here's what I heard, Cleo. And so maybe for the first time, you're going to hear someone talk about your gift. And because it comes from someone else and you're observing it, you're going to see that gift a lot more clearly. And you're going to become aware of what the soul's trying to do. So this is a very powerful process of self-discovery. Okay. All right. So you give the feedback for a few minutes. One listening gives the feedback. Okay. And then just be aware of what comes up in you, because you have all sorts of other ideas come up. So the soul's going to start showing you stuff of what's next. It's no accident you guys are here on this little workshop. And then we'll just talk about the whole thing overall at the end. Okay. All right. So let's have a look. Okay. So you up for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that then. Okay, hang on. So who wants to share first what their gift is? You guys discuss it between the two of you. Who's going to go first? Who's going to share first?
Don't mind, but I'm not entirely clear about what we're doing. So it will maybe become clearer as we actually do it.
So should I just say what I think my gift of service is? Or no? Is
Yeah,
that it?
okay. So yeah. So we'll have Mario
So
go
I
first.
write this down, right? I
Yeah.
write
So
his.
so you want to ask Mario, well, what do you think your gift of service is? Ask him that now.
Okay, Mario, what do you think your gift of service is?
Now write down all the key points as he speaks, Cleo.
Mhm.
Just give it your best shot, Mario.
Well, this is related to my own personal journey. So in the past, I have struggled with addiction and identity and sexuality. And along my journey, I identified certain moments, certain mindsets, moments, things that really helped me along the way to get that in check. So I feel very called to share my insights, my learnings, my wisdom with the gay community, which I'm part of, because I know a lot of beautiful souls who are struggling as well, and I see myself reflected in them, in previous versions of myself. So I feel really called to spread the wisdom and the anecdotes, and with no holding back. I have learned to accept myself with all my weaknesses and my strengths, and the fact that I kind of own my trials and tribulations, that I think there's value in that. And yeah, and it also makes me really happy when I see that I am able to help or inspire or guide. And I've also been learning recently that one of the main lessons was that it's not about lecturing and judging, and it was really when I realized that all I had to do really is to talk the talk, and all the ideas that I had, to embody them and live them myself. And ideally, I think I'm not, I can already see how I'm leading by example, just by showing my face and becoming an example that these things can be, there's hope, and you can help, and you can change, and you can overcome some challenges that a lot of friends and lovers and family have found very challenging in the past. So two of the outlets I've been working on right now is two iterations of this message, is the short videos, which include very short statements, words, play of words, and with striking images, and the tarot readings, which also helped me a lot in the past when other people would do them for me. But who knows? I think the deeper gift is to really help the community and look into their deeper problems that end up in these types of addiction and struggle.
Is that everything?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So Cleo, what you say now is that here's what I heard. So say it slowly, because this is going to be very powerful for Mario, because he's going to hear it coming back from the universe now. So you say, I heard the following.
Okay. So what I heard is that it relates to your personal journey with issues of addiction, identity, and sexuality, and that you've identified certain things that helped you to get these issues in check, and that now you would like to share the insights and wisdom that you've gathered along the way with other people in the form of anecdotes and other kind of talking to them. And that this includes you feel that you have reached a place of self-acceptance regarding your weaknesses and your strengths, and that it makes you happy when you can see that you can help or inspire other people by this means, not by lecturing or judging, but just by talking to them and also embodying what you've gained in yourself, so that they can feel it happening in you. So you are leading by example, and you feel you are already beginning to lead by example. And there's a little bit there that I wasn't quite sure. I missed, there's one bit that I missed. And then it was that you were sort of helping the community to look into their deeper problems by this means of what you wish to do.
Yeah, I think the bit you didn't get, I also wasn't clear what I was saying.
Something about a challenge, but I got slightly kind of upside down in that moment, and I didn't manage to write it down correctly. So
I was trying to stretch it, but I just started a bit like meandering. I don't know. Well, I just felt body chills. Thank you for that. Hearing it. Thank you.
So how did that feel, Mario, to hear all that coming back at you?
Yeah, it made me feel emotional, like excited, happy, excited, really. Like I feel, but this just happened like literally last week, that I just intuitively started, okay, videos, not even sure what I'm trying to do here, readings and a couple of other things. This is just two projects I'm kind of focusing on, because it's the floodgates are kind of opening right now. And like last week I got clarity, this is where I can help. I mean, I kind of knew, but now I actually wrote it down a few days ago, and and starting to see clear avenues, or how, like, for example, going to this local gay bar to offer tarot readings. That's it just happened, like it's gonna happen this week for the first time. So it's all kind of starting to fall into place. So yeah, it felt really good. It felt I feel like I'm starting to really gain clarity that it's gonna help me ground all of these ideas and learnings and wisdom that I've been kind of working with.
Okay. So a lot of the time when we're starting a small business, spiritual business like this, we spend a lot of time thinking about what's actually going to work, because you don't know, you see. All right. And so it's actually better to spend less time thinking about it and just go and try it out.
Right.
Do some what we call it market testing. Otherwise, you're going to get a sore head thinking about it too much, because until you test your gift of service and what you think might be, an ideal client avatar, the people in the bar you're going to try, say, tarot readings at, or the audiences on YouTube, you're not going to know. So you want to get feedback from the marketplace, because that will give you much more value than thinking about it, because there must be feedback from real people who are interested or not interested in this case. Then you're finding out, oh, that initial idea it's not going to work at all. Okay. Like we've been developing software for the contract work for the past 8 years to give printed reports, which is what you were, talking to Robin about, Cleo. And
Yes.
we had an initial idea. We started testing it in November 2022. And we're only just finishing testing now 3 years later, because the feedback from people using it has radically changed the offering. We found out what real people wanted. And the real people really love what we're offering now from the different test teams we had, you see. And so you can have this concept, vision, especially as artists, but you've got to ground the vision and see how people respond. And the other thing about that is do you like working with those people? Because you might not. So you want to find the people you want to sell to or deliver this to, the ones you love to work with. So what you want to do is have enough of the idea out there and just go and try it out and see. Okay, saves a lot of time. And then you do more and improve on what people like. You do less or drop what they don't like, and eventually you get your gift of service. And it'll be pretty bit different to what you think. And so you've saved all that thinking time and you spend the energy actually doing it. Okay, doing it. If you can get like 70-80% of the basic idea out there, don't wait for 100%. Okay, get it out there, try it out. You've done that already, Cleo. You've been trying a few things out. It didn't quite work so well. So that's the universe saying this approach is not working. So you've got to go and try something else to find out what does work. Okay, because half the things you're going to think of at least are not going to work. And that's okay, because it means that you're getting close to the ones which are going to work based upon your energy. I mean, Edison tried 10,000 types of light bulbs until he got the one that worked. And he would just say, I'm one step closer to the one that's actually going to work. And when it did, it was very successful. Okay. So don't be put off by the things that don't work. It's just telling you you're not meant to sell things that way or do things that way. Okay. There'll be something else you're meant to do. Okay. How does that sound?
It's complicated, though. Well, to me, that sounds quite complicated, because one of the issues I always have is that I'm always in a minority of one in my life, that all my life, nobody ever likes the same things as I like. So it's very difficult for me to produce a great big body of art and go out into the world and think, oh my God, but nobody ever likes what I like. So how's this gonna go down?
You just haven't found them yet, Cleo.
Well, there's that, but there's also the fact that I'm also not, because I'm somehow very clear about what is right for my work and what isn't right for my work. I'm not very able to compromise. So when I was doing this work in India, people were clearly not really resonating with it. I think the Indian market isn't actually quite ready. This is what my Indian friends were saying, that they don't think the Indian market's really quite ready for it. And sorry, mosquito problems. And we haven't really cracked what it should be. But the problem is, to what you've just said, to what extent does that always come down to some kind of compromise? because
Doesn't have to be a
with
compromise.
what you wanted to do, you know, like
Doesn't
maybe I've got the right products, but I'm not making them in the right way, or I'm not selling them in the right place, or is it that the products are not right?
it may be that you're just not marketing to the right people.
And
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's 8 billion people in the world. Someone's going to like it. You just haven't found them yet. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
today I took the deck out to a writing group this morning, and that was very good, actually. I got very positive feedback from that. They all picked a card, and
Well, there you go. You're finding the right people.
yeah, I mean, I do think Ubud is a better hunting ground than India, if I'm
So.
honest.
I think so. I'd agree with you. Yeah. Okay, it's your turn now, Cleo. So,
My turn.
Mario, what are you going to ask her? What's the question?
Cleo, what do you think your gift of service is?
Just give it your best shot, Cleo.
Sorry?
Give it your best shot.
My best shot, yeah, it will be my best shot. The trouble is, I don't understand my own work. I'm told that they carry very important messages, but I personally just see them as pretty patterns. So from my point of view, I want to fill the world with beauty, and I have a feeling that a lot of people don't really respond in a full way to color and pattern and things, and I would like to feel that people could become more awake to that in different ways, and that I also think that the mandalas are quite a powerful form, and that they can affect people in quite sort of ways I don't myself understand, but quite subtle ways, and that I'm thinking that I probably partly came here to give these things to people. I've been told some quite strong things about them in the past, that they're a bit crude, that they go straight into people's unconscious, and that therefore some people can have quite a kind of reaction to them. So I don't really, I myself don't really know what my gift to service is at the deeper level, but I do understand that I'm supposed to be putting these things out, and that my feeling about life is all really about beauty, and that I want people to be more surrounded by beauty and more aware of beauty that I would say was healthy, wholesome, harmonious, nutritious beauty that is like balanced and coherent, which a mandala is, and very joyful. All my work is very joyful feeling. It's never dark or kind of. And I feel there's a place for that. I look around me and I feel, yeah, there's definitely a place for this in the world. And with the deck itself, I wrote the texts and I sort of channeled them. I've never been convinced they were exactly right, but I would like that the deck could help people to get guidance and clarity in their life, but it may not be quite the way the normal deck does at the moment unless I rewrite it. But I think it's kind of what it's meant to be, and it's more of a meditation. You meditate on the design, and the text is there as a kind of a support for you, but it's not a very prescriptive a kind of thing, because the mandala is all about universalizing and going out from the personal into the more impersonal, the more universal. And I think that the deck is probably supposed to have that kind of message to it as well. But I'm kind of unclear on some aspects of really what the deck is meant to be doing.
I think you're getting an idea. I think it's so, Mario.
Just before I get into it, I would be interested in it. I guess.
There you go. There you go.
Funny, it did occur to me.
There you go. See, here's a customer.
I send you a PDF of it, and you can have a look.
Honestly, I totally resonate with what you were selling. I would buy it.
Yeah, maybe he's going to go and try it out in the bar. You see,
you found someone who cares. You just found someone who's interested in your mandalas.
These your ideal client avatar, right?
You'll be my agent. You'll be the one that uses my mandalas.
Right in front of your nose. He's right here.
Yeah. Once it keeps overflowing, we can support each other.
Well, I can introduce you guys by email. Okay.
That's all, yeah. Okay, well, I'll read back.
Yeah. What did you hear, Mario?
Yeah, that I mean, you say you don't understand your gift, but I thought it was pretty clear from what I was writing. But you hold important messages that need to be shared. Pretty patterns is something that you mentioned and stuck with me. Fill the world with beauty. Color and patterns are important. There's a power to these mandalas and that you are aware of, that they have the power to affect people and go straight through or into them. You have a feeling that you're supposed to put this out, these messages, and you are motivated by the idea of people being surrounded by beauty. And you made a point about explaining that this would be balanced and coherent beauty. You gravitate towards joyful feelings, and you are sure there is a place in the world for this. And the deck, you've channeled it. You've channeled the cards. So I don't know how you say it. And you hoping this could offer guidance for people and be used as a meditation tool.
How'd that feel,
Right.
Cleo?
Thank you. Yeah, quite nice.
Yeah, you got one client.
It's not bad, is it? Right. Do you feel heard, Cleo? Do you feel mirrored?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so there is someone interested. So there's one of them interested here. So there must be more Marios around. Okay.
He's my first, what does he say? What was your acronym? DCA? Yeah, Dream Client Avatar.
Dream
number
client
one.
avatar. You're getting a feel for who the dream client avatar is. So you got to go out there and find them. Get to try it out. See, and it's okay if someone doesn't like it because it means that they're not the right person. So you eliminate that type of person in terms of the demographic profile or where they hang out, and so that's how you find them. Okay. All right. How do you feel now, having been through that process? Where
What, today? You
just
mean?
right now, how do you feel?
That process. Yeah.
Well, I'm just checking on how you're doing, you see, so I can see how you
Well,
progress.
I'm doing fine. I'm not a very emotional being, so I won't normally have a huge response to things. But yeah.
It doesn't have to be massively emotional. Do you feel heard and seen, for example?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's just the beginning of the process to discover. You see how other people respond to what you do. Okay. And then from that you can refine it. And the most important thing in this sort of field is to be authentic and integrous, to stick to what is true for you, not to do something which is to please someone else. It's what's really true for you.
I can't do things to please other people. It has to fit me.
Yeah.
I'm so kind of
Yeah, that's the nature of who you are as an artist.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
A transmitter. And it's about how you want to write the text of the book which goes with the deck. Okay, and explain to people how they want to use it. Sit with the cards, flow with it, and all the other things you were talking about. Really, it's not going to be like the other ones, because you see, you want to differentiate yourself anyway from thousands of other decks out there. Okay, you want to be unique because there's so many people out there in the spiritual field. The market is saturated, so you want to stand out. Okay, you don't want to be the same as everyone else because no one's going to notice you.
I don't. I always don't. That's always been my thing, not to be the same as everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to notice you. Okay.
I just need a 2-minute break, but for the toilet.
Yeah, we'll have a quick break if you need to go. Yeah.
2 seconds.
Yeah, you just go to the bathroom, whatever you need to do. So we'll wait. So Cleo, my immediate response to while we wait for Mario is that you need to think about having a website. Do you have a website with your mandalas on it?
I have had for decades a website with my mandalas on it.
And
It's
how's
just
it?
that it's not,
How's
nobody
it?
ever goes there. It's completely unmarketed.
How
Absolutely unmarketed.
how have you been marketing the website?
I haven't. That's what I'm saying. I
Well,
don't.
you need to market the website
It
in
exists,
the right
but I don't
places.
know how to market it. I'm very unwilling to use social media. I have somebody in India who's supposed to do my social media, but she hasn't been doing it for various reasons. So
Yeah.
it's not.
So it's about using masculine marketing tools to carry the feminine gift of the transmission out to the world in a conscious way. Okay.
Yeah.
To say, for example, are you on Facebook?
No, I work, I really have a serious, I said at the beginning, I have a very serious allergy to social media and kind of personal marketing stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's because, does it come from, because why is that? What's the allergy about? Just so I understand it.
Yeah, at the deeper level, I think I was brought up to have a bit of a horror of anyone who promotes themselves, who sort of self-promotes. It seems very inelegant thing to do, very, very sort of gross and sort of commercially minded to do it. And I don't like the idea of pushing myself. And I see people around me all the time doing it, and it makes me inwardly cringe when people are sort of desperately trying to promote themselves as a spiritual this and a great that and a great the other. And I have a horror of doing that as such in that form myself. I really don't want
Doesn't
to
have
come
to be
across
that way.
Sorry?
It doesn't have to be that. Doesn't have to be that way. Think of it as maybe sharing what your gift. So you're saying to the world, "Here's my gift," and just give them an experience of the gift. And it's up to them whether they want to come to you or not. It doesn't have to be a hard sell. It's just a gentle sharing. And the main thing is that these people hang out on certain channels. These are called channels to market, and you need to reach them. If you don't tell them you're there, no one's going to come. Okay, and it doesn't have to be a hard sell or anything like the yucky stuff you see, because it's just using known channels where these people hang out for you to find out where they are, and just sharing what you do in a gentle, integrous way. And if you're interested, here's my website, and that's that. You're not doing a hard sell, because think of it, I'm trying to reach my ideal client avatar. Okay, if you don't reach them, they're not going to get the gift. So your time on earth will be wasted if you don't get your gift.
Yes.
Okay, and they're looking for it. People are looking for it. So you're using these masculine tools in a conscious way to reach the people, but the primary focus is on serving them with the transmission, not making money. Money is secondary by a few percent. And when you switch the mindset from the commercial making money thing, which is a 3D approach to business, to a 5D approach is I'm here to serve with my gifts. Money will naturally follow anyway. Obviously, you need to earn a living. Okay. But it's not the primary goal. The primary goal is to share the gift. Okay. Because we've been very polluted by money, especially in the West. The whole world's been corrupted by money. But we do need
And that's what I feel. I find, you see people doing things and you can feel that behind them there's the want for the money. You see what
well, in that case,
the allergy, I think.
you have a different approach. Your focus is on serving them and sharing your gift. And you ignore all the noise of everyone else, and you set a fair price, and you set a fair price, and then people are really interested. They'll find you and they'll pay for it. But if you don't get out there at all, no one's ever going to find you. Okay.
No.
It's an attitude towards money. So the 5D approach to this is I'm sharing my gift, and it's entirely up to you. You share it unconditionally. It's up to you whether you want to engage. And I'm fine if you do, fine if you don't. Okay. And this is the price. This is the fair price, and you can pay on PayPal or however you want to do it, because you need the energy exchange to be able to afford to do more of this. You see, so money's only dirty if you use it in a way just out of a place of greed. In this case, we're using money out of a place of exchange because you've got to earn a living of some sort. Okay. to pay the bills, to be able to continue delivering the gift. So it's about getting over the money is dirty thing, which many spiritual people have. Well, it is, but you just don't do it that way. Okay, I mean, we have a thing in Centre for Conscious Ascension. We don't talk about maximizing return on investment. We talk about maximizing return on consciousness. How much can we raise consciousness with what we do? That's what we focus on. Everything we do, and people turn up anyway, and they come because they know we're not doing it just for doing it just to earn a living. I could have been happily retired from the corporate world with a lot more money than I have now, but I ended up hating it after a while. I wanted to make a difference. So focus on service, clear, service with love, delivering your gift, charging a fair price, and you overcome the money is dirty programming. It's a very deep imprint we have as spiritual people.
Yeah.
Okay. Money is just a means of exchange, because if they don't exchange for your mandalas, they won't enjoy them because they didn't put anything into it. Does that help?
Yeah, sort of. It doesn't mean that the actual doing of it is any the easier, but the kind of rationale behind it is just that much cleaner. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, the end of the mind is to deliver the gift to the world. Money is just the means of exchange for that to happen. It's a secondary thing. Okay. But if you're fighting the money thing all the time, then you're not going to get so far. It's just about changing your viewpoint of it. Okay.
Yeah, for me, it really worked when I started to think, okay, I need to figure out how to make some money to help me scale my project and get out there to more people. So it doesn't feel like you're being greedy or selfish or, or what's the word you say, like cringy, you have a reason to do it, you have a goal, a motivation, and that's how it works. So I was there as well. So it's a work in progress. Let's see how it goes when I start charging people on Sunday. But once you think this is gonna help me do it better, do it bigger, get to more people, it has to happen. So just start thinking it that way and see.
Yeah, it's the intention behind it. Okay. Because if you allow people to exchange, that means you can invest in a new video camera. You can take the photograph of the video of the rice or whatever, get someone to train you. Therefore, you can offer more. Okay, because you need the money to invest in to pay your bills, but most importantly, to invest and grow your business. What's that?
I said, tell me about it. Yes,
you need to invest the money to grow the business.
And I don't like that. I don't like the fact that on one level I've been pushed into a place where I need to make this happen now financially, because otherwise my financial survival is quite precarious.
Well,
and I don't like that there is this side to me behind me. I never put it out there openly, really, but I'm aware that I really do want money from this. I'm not doing it just for love. I'm also doing it because I need to. I need to survive. Yeah.
You need to pay the bills.
Fair enough too. Yeah.
You need to pay the bills. You see, so your soul's got to this place where there's no choice but to do this. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to be out of business and out of life. Okay. Yeah. So it's going to dissolve this program which we've been talking about. It's just a program, but money is dirty. It's only a program. Okay. Money is love ultimately. It's a means of exchange. So someone can exchange for your mandalas and enjoy them, and you can exchange for food, accommodation, development of your business to do more of what you love to do. So everyone wins. Okay, everyone wins. Okay, it's a good start for the conversation. Let's get to the next stage, guys. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Okay. All right. So, okay, we're getting clear on the gift of service. Where is my audience? Where are those ideal client avatars? Okay, they might be on Facebook for you, Cleo. They might be on artistic groups on Facebook. There are lots of special interest groups on Facebook.
On Instagram, maybe, I hang out on Instagram. If I was interested in your work, and I use Instagram to find other artists and other people putting stuff out there.
Yeah. Yeah, Instagram is a good place to go.
I know Instagram is the best. I mean, I've been told that many times.
Yeah, so get someone to train you how to use it. Okay.
Well, I have this person in India who's meant to be doing it for me, but I can figure out how to use it, I
It's not that
suppose.
hard. Sounds like you got the wrong person if they're not doing it for you.
Well, she hasn't really been doing it in the end, It's
Yeah,
just
it has to. Your energy has to be in it. It's not about foisting it for someone else because you don't like using social media. People will feel that you're not actually enjoying this, so they're not going to come. It's about doing it with passion. So get someone to train
but
you.
I'm not going to enjoy using social media because the whole concept of social media really gives me the creeps.
Well, you'd use it in the way that works for
Very
you.
deep levels, and I don't really know what to do about that. I don't know if I can get over that.
Well, it's just about clearing the programs behind that, emotional programs. But remember the Instagram and things like that. Instagram is just a channel, what we call a channel to market to deliver your gift. Okay, to reach the people who are gonna enjoy your gift. That's the key. So think about that. Don't think about what everyone else does. That's irrelevant. Think about how you want to use it. Okay, how you want to use it.
And people say now that so it's not social media anymore. It's evolving, and they call it now interest media. So it's where you find about the things that you're interested in.
Yeah, I mean, I use YouTube a lot. All of my videos are posted on there. We have hundreds of them, and YouTube has a vast range of material. Some of it's not so great, but I'm not worried about that. I'm more interested in having a high frequency channel for people who are interested in what I do, and that's what I focus on. You see, and so and we get a lot of interest from YouTube because it works for us. So you got to go just try them out, find out what works. Okay, and then and clear the programs as you go. Talk to Robin about divine healing. Okay, they're just programs, Cleo, to be able to come. It's part of your journey. Okay, to overcome all that. They're not permanent, even though they'll tell you they're permanent. Okay. All right. It's part of the journey, the artist's journey. Okay, to your audience. Okay, so who is my audience or who is your audience? When you start these little businesses, the first thing we often get to is there anybody out there? Okay, I think you've been asking that, Cleo. Is there anybody out there?
No, I do actually believe there are people out there.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
So we gotta profile them. That's what we call them in marketing. We got to understand who their gender is, age range, what their income level is, what level of consciousness are they at in terms of their spiritual growth, how committed are they to the spiritual path that would lead them to engage with what you guys have to offer, how evolved are they really? Are they really serious, professional spiritual people who do lots of work on themselves, go to workshops and stuff like that? Or are they just people dabbling at the beginning, or are they somewhere in the middle? Okay. All right. And where do they hang out? Okay. In your case, it could be Instagram. Okay. Okay. All my clients who are artists are all on Instagram. I know that for a fact. Okay. Or in this case, for Mario, they're just down at the bar, a specific type of bar or bars in Amsterdam. That's where they hang out. So it's a natural place for him to go. You're soon going to find out if they're into what you're doing. Yeah. So you're market testing. So you got to go and market test Instagram, Cleo. And Mario's is going to market test specific types of bars in Amsterdam and see what happens. You have to do it a few times to find out. So I think the thing you've got to measure really, Cleo, is the response of the people who are interested. Okay, so ignore all the
always going to seem interested because they don't want to be unkind or rude, so they're always going to show lots of interest, but that doesn't mean they really are interested.
No, people will say if they're really interested. They're not going to do it just out of politeness. So you haven't actually.
Face to face, they do. Face to face, they might do it out of politeness.
Yeah.
But
have you actually used social media much? Yeah. Have you actually used Instagram or Facebook much?
No, I won't. I have, and I've absolutely had to for some reason. I've gone there, but I won't spend time on them at all. I hate it.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe someone to educate you on how to use this consciously. And the idea is to create what we call engagement, genuine, authentic engagement in your case. All right, in a way that's going to work, not superficial engagement. All right, that's the key. So you use the tool for the way you want to use it. Okay.
Something I did, like maybe it helps you feel like I used to have my old life Instagram and I started to hate it. It was just people pretending and a lot of it was so superficial. And when I started this new project, I just started fresh, new account, and I only followed people who were I was inspired by
But
or thought we were on a similar wavelength.
that's my problem. I absolutely refuse to follow people. I do not want to fill my life or my time with other people's work when I've got so much of my own stuff to be getting on with. I'm just not very interested in all the other people and what they're doing on Instagram. I don't mind putting my own stuff out, but I really don't see myself kind of joining here, following there, making comment there. I don't want to waste my time on that. To me, that's time wasting, and it will never be anything other than time wasting. I can't see how it could be anything else.
Well, just do what you like to do. But the main thing is to
You don't have to
experiment.
engage with it. You can just put your stuff there.
Just put your stuff up there. The main thing is to try it out and find out what you like to do on it and see and engage with people authentically. Set the intention, you engage in authentically and see what happens. Okay.
Yeah, I can only ever be authentic. That much is.
Yeah. So then be that way and use the medium accordingly. Okay. So we've got to get a grip on who these people are, okay? Because when you understand who the profile of your ideal client avatar is, you know where to go and find them, and you know how to relate to them. This is a very important part of marketing. Okay? For example, my market is usually 80, 90% women, usually from the 30s onwards, okay? Most of them are professionals, have been working on themselves for quite a while, and they're very committed to waking up, okay? And they hang out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter a bit, okay? I don't go on TikTok or Instagram because I have too much to say and it's too short a time. So I produce videos which are an hour, a couple of hours long, and people seem to watch them long, watch all of it because of the content in them, because it's just me being myself, talking about what I'm passionate with. So I'll give you an idea. People will watch two or three videos about the trainings and they'll pay £700, £800, $1,000 for training just from watching 2 or 3 videos. So that's telling you my channel is working on YouTube. Okay. Because they're getting everything they want. They're getting a direct experience of me. So give them the experience of your art, Cleo, on Instagram. That's the key thing. Okay. And there's lots of
when I was engaging with this woman in India and other people in India, so you've got to do reels. You've got to do reels. Instagram isn't just pictures anymore; it's reels. And my heart sank. Oh God, I don't want to have to do reels because it involves videos and it involves. So is that true? I mean, is it just reels on Instagram these days? Somebody tell me.
You need someone who's a professional in it, who understands the art market to help you there and educate you and try things out which you can handle. You may not want to do reels, but people have a short.
The example with the rice, the experiment you're doing, that's a perfect reel. That gives you material for a reel every day.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned, have you got a good phone? Because I'd make a reel about the rice. It might be 30 seconds or something.
I want to do it. I obviously don't want to do it until it's kind of working, because it would be embarrassing if it doesn't work as well, no?
Even if it didn't work, I would be interested in following the experiment every day, and in the end, it didn't work. And you found out, and people.
Then I wouldn't be able to sell them on that basis. So it would be better to establish it does work.
Well,
I think I'll try it off camera first, and then if it does work, I'm very happy to do it maybe on camera.
The journey itself would be fascinating. You could end up with an Oscar-winning reel or something.
Yeah, so you make the video regardless, Cleo. But whether you use it on Instagram is another matter. You just make the raw material anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
And just comment. You just talk about it pretty authentically. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
And just capture your stream of consciousness. That's what people are interested in. They're interested in the real you and what's actually going on. Okay. Then from there you can make your reels. Okay. Because people want to know, because of social media, it's very superficial, as Mario was saying. a lot of the time. People want to know who you really are. And they come onto, say, YouTube or Instagram or whatever to see who you really are, get a taste if they want to feel your energy. And if they like your energy, then they'll buy your art. Okay? That's the key thing.
Mhm.
It
Okay?
could become you could market the mandalas that didn't work in the end, and people would buy it because it taps into
Yeah. Yeah. So showing your authentic self. I mean, we spend a lot of time, energy, and money on a really good website, but people always want to look at the YouTube to find out who we really are. Okay, what we get up to. And then they make a decision based upon coming live, like on a webinar like this. But a lot of them make decisions based on just watching the videos alone. That's what they're really after. They want to see the authentic Cleo. And if you make reels showing the authentic you, saying what you truly believe in, and stuff like that, then you're going to build an audience of authentic people who are more likely to go and buy your art. But you have to show yourself. And the video captures the transmission of who you are. Okay, much more than a still picture, because you're in action, you're animated. Having a bad day with the rice. There's black mold on this one. Forget this one. And look at this one. Rice hasn't changed in 10 days. It's pristine and glowing like morning snow. That's a good mandala. And you'll sell some. That's what'll happen.
If one of them does happen to work in the end, imagine you would end up with people bidding for the most successful one, and they follow the journey.
Some designs work better than others, so then I have to make them all go through the same process.
Honestly, you got it there already.
I think you've got great. You guys need to work together. Okay. I think there's you give him a deck and he'll teach you how to use Instagram. So I think you've got great material. The journey, it's the journey of the artist in the creative process. People are always fascinated by that, absolutely fascinated by it, and the technical problems you face and the issues. And if you did a reel a day, saying you're doing a new mandala, for example, you talk about the journey. My inspiration is this. Then you go off and do it. Then you come back later. Now I feel like it. And this you say, this worked really well, but I messed up the corner or whatever. Now I don't feel so good. That sort of thing will make great material because the artist's process is fascinating to people because most people don't actually get inside your head to find out what that's like. Okay. So it's not that hard. You just got to talk about real life and what's going on. And people will watch it. And you build an audience, can say, what's Cleo up to next? She started a new painting this week. Let's go and check it out. Okay. So it's not that hard. Being authentic is a rare commodity out there in the world, and that will draw people because they'll feel the authenticity of it clear. I think you actually got all the material you need. Just got to learn how to use the tools to communicate it to the world. What do you think, Mario?
Totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would follow it. Honestly, it's catchy. It's got a funny. If you give it just the way you are dealing with this whole situation, that you got me completely engaged. Yeah. And in the end, you also have the paintings. You can buy them, and it's perfect. It's all round. It's round. It's got there. It's genuine. You can engage with it as much as you want, a little or less. Even the ones that didn't work, the ones that worked, there's a whole different offering that you have there. Someone might want the other one that they can relate to if their own journey is similar to the journey of that particular mandala. You got it all there. It's like
I think you just found your Instagram coach, Cleo.
Yeah, maybe I did.
Yeah, I will definitely introduce you guys and he can talk about this. Okay, so let's find out who's out there who's going to receive and watch the Instagram, okay? All right. So basically, we're going to work out who we think these people are. Same as before, but it's different. So maybe, Cleo, you want to ask Mario, okay, who does he think his ideal client avatar is based upon these different parameters? And Mario, just give it your best shot, okay? Because just talking about it's going to get you focused. So off you go, Cleo. Ask him the question.
Am I again writing down what he says?
You got to write down what he says, and then you're going to read it back to him because he's going to focus in on who these people are just by talking about it. It'll come to him because you guys need to understand that your businesses are not something you, as a small human in this earth suit, has to figure out. Your higher self has already designed your businesses, your spiritual businesses. And it's sitting up here we're talking a lot more about this on the main training. It's setting this as a visionary template. This is Leo here, trying to connect with this template. This is what we're doing right now in this mini workshop. All the components of your business are already there. Okay, you've just got to clear all the programming in the way, like the aversion to social media, for example, and allow it to come through you. So the business is going to already decide it's going to come from your higher self. It's just about you guys getting out of the way. Okay. The way I run this business is I used to do it in a very left-brain corporate way when I started 27 years ago. I tried to plan it all out. I don't bother doing that now. I just meditate, and they just tell me. They told me a great idea this morning for the stock contract report service. I put it to Robin, and we're going to go and do it now because I just listen to my team because I've designed the business. All you guys got to do is listen, get emotionally clear, and take action in the right moment in divine timing. It's called following the spiritual signature. Okay, so Cleo, you're here by divine timing, and I'm saying certain things to you, which your higher self wants you to know, okay, are directing me to help you get out there, okay? So it's all in here. You've just got to listen and act and deal with your programming. It's only programming. It's not real. It's not permanent to get out there, okay? So you don't have to worry, guys. You've got to listen. You've got to get clear emotionally. Okay, your emotional programming, which you all had from our soul contract, is actually what's in the way of our business. Okay, and the more clearer you are emotionally, the better your business is going to run because it's going to come. Your channel is going to be clearer. And this is actually how you do it. Like Mario may be directed to specific bars in Amsterdam. If you just listen and tune in, you go to 6 bars, you discover they all worked because you listened. If you didn't listen, think I should go to this one, and that one turns out to be a dud, wrong sort of people. If you just listen, you'll go to the right place. It'll work. Okay. So, Cleo, ask Mario the question, who is his audience? And based upon these parameters, and let's see what comes out.
Mario, who is your audience
Who do you
based
think?
on the parameters in this list?
Well, yeah, I would say people, because I'm kind of want to share my own, like the wisdom I gained with my own experience. So would be people similar to me in a way. So that's, I think I'm starting with the middle, late mid 40s gay men who live in cities like Amsterdam and go out there, you know, with, I don't know, I don't know, the level of consciousness, maybe because I'm just starting with the tarot readings and things. So any level of consciousness, but just starting out, the dabblers that you mentioned, Nicolas, like dabblers, people who just have like what is going on? Like they're starting an awakening journey, they're not too sure, they haven't tried anything. That's too woo-woo. So just to getting started in an environment that they normally go to meet other men or to have a drink or relax, just to show up and say and present this opportunity. Look, have you heard about tarot? Are you interested? And yeah, like people who don't have a lot of experience, but who are not like super mega conscious and already doing the spiritual business. I don't know, maybe the others, the people who are curious, people who are not very clear, who just have a bit of a bit of a niche with all this talk. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Mario. So Cleo, do you want to mirror it back to him? So just close your eyes, Mario, and just have a listen to see what comes back. You shared a lot of rich stuff there.
That they would typically be probably mid-40s aged gay men living in cities. I didn't catch anything about income level, but yeah, and level of consciousness, probably any level, but typically dabblers, people who are just starting their journey, not usually people who are wildly conscious, people who are curious and who have a bit of a sort of niche with all of this kind of the same kind of things that you dealt with, I guess.
How's that feel to hear that, Mario?
Good.
Give you a bit more clarity?
But it's just the income because yeah, people who, I mean, right now I don't have a huge income, but I've had it before in the past. So people who, but I wouldn't want to close my gift of service to, oh, can you afford a reading? I
What's
would
that? What's that?
I don't want to limit me giving my gift of service if someone cannot afford it. I
Yeah.
would probably still offer it,
Yeah.
or maybe work in a wider range of offerings. So what I'm doing this week is literally 3 cards, €5, which is something super accessible. It's the price of a drink. Moving forward, hoping that could evolve into a more longer, detailed, tailored offering that I can charge more for at a different setting. Maybe welcome people at my home. Um, yeah, so maybe the income level, I don't see that's how relevant it is because I would be happy to help people from all different income levels. And a lot of the people I've met, or I've already started practicing with friends, my neighbors who've been visiting, they don't have, we are all struggling with our income right now. So I don't know how the income situation, I don't want that to limit my mission, my business, my message on it.
Yeah. The reason for the income level is that when you find your ideal client avatar, they'll be very similar. The ones who really love what you do the most. Okay. So once you understand who that is, then you know what to focus on. When you first start, you've got to try everything out to see which is what you're doing at the moment. But just notice what happens where the majority of people who are most interested come from. Okay. Because also you've got to determine, is that actually viable long term as a business proposition? Okay. Because you've got to pay the bills and stuff like that. It's a balancing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mario. Is that helpful?
Yeah, it is helpful. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now, do you swap over? You ask Cleo about who her audience is. Just see what happens.
Who is your audience?
As far as I can tell, it's almost exactly the same as Nicolas said for his audience. I think that it's typically female, more heavily female. Typically from, yeah, I don't know, maybe it goes a bit younger too, because I do see younger people who are interested in this, but say from 30 upwards. And again, I have a similar feeling about income level. I know that probably it's often going to be people who are quite sort of middle class, upper middle class. But one of the reasons I wanted to make products out of my mandalas rather than just sell them as artworks and prints was because I wanted it not to be a kind of high art thing. I wanted it to be able to reach all different types of people, including very ordinary people who might just want to buy a bottle or a shoulder bag or something with a mandala on it, because I don't want it to have that sort of, I don't want it to become luxury branded, because that seems to me to shut people out, very similar to what you were just saying. I think that typically they will be people who they need to know what a mandala is. And in order to know what a mandala is, then they're going to be quite sort of conscious of spiritual paths in general. Although, again, it doesn't have to be, because my designs, anyone could enjoy them. You don't need to know even what a mandala is to enjoy them, because they're very visually easy. But if you're going to really understand the product, then yes, you're going to be on a spiritual path. You could be quite evolved. I have a healer. I have stories of healers who there was one woman, a friend of mine in Germany, one of her healers, independently of me and her, bought a calendar. The German company published a calendar of my mandalas last year, and she bought this calendar, and without realizing that Isolde is a friend of mine, she had taken these mandalas and illegally taken them to a photographer. She'd photographed them and then she'd had them printed onto glass and she had them hanging in her clinic. She's a frequency healer, I think, something like that. And she loved them. And so then Isolde eventually had to tell her that she knows the person who created them and that obviously she'd broken copyright. But I mean, I just thought it was hilarious, actually. But I can feel, obviously, there's that kind of people. I think healers, people who understand frequency healing, would be a very obvious part of my natural audience. And so I guess they would hang out in kind of places where those kind of people hang out. I don't really know. I suppose there are Instagram channels and things, but this is what I don't know because I really don't know that side of it.
That everything?
Yeah.
Hey, Mario, do you want to give a bit of feedback on what you heard?
Yeah. So your audience is heavily female, but yeah. Typically 30 plus, middle or upper middle class. You did mention it would be good that they know or they are aware of what a mandala is. So conscious of conscious of the spiritual art, but not necessarily on the spiritual path in whatever stage. Healers, you did highlight. People who understand or are aware or practice frequency healing, and that you imagine they might hang out in Instagram or other social media.
How does that feel to hear that, Cleo?
Yeah, to be honest, it feels just the same as when I say it. I don't really feel the difference having it reflected back to me, if I'm honest. But
It's
yes.
It's more to see if there's any other insights hearing someone say it to you. Insights and feelings and awareness. It's different for each person, you see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because see what we're doing is we're getting out of your head, out into the world, and then looking at it as a separate energy to learn more about it. Because the energy of your ideal client avatar is a live thing separate from you that your higher self has already designed. That's what we're trying to get you in contact with here. Okay. So it may come at you and realizations may come in all sorts of ways. It doesn't have to be, your response doesn't have to be a certain way. It's just you may gain some insight from it. Okay. That's the reason we do this.
Yes.
Okay. So I would say, for example, I would look on Facebook groups for artist groups. People will be interested in this sort of thing. There's tons of them. Okay. That'd be the first place I go to. All right. Who'd be very interested in this stuff. And there could be spiritual art groups on Facebook where people share their artwork. Okay. Then there'll be people who go to look at the artwork who may want to buy it because they know the group exists. And it's about plugging into the right networks of ideal client avatars. So I'd go and explore that and see. And you may not like most of it, most of the way Facebook works, but what you probably will be interested in is the type of people who hang out in that group. The other ones you want to build a relationship with and connect with. Okay. That's the ones where you talk about, you could be doing little reels or little videos just talking about the development of the work. People will be fascinated by that sort of thing. Okay. And so Facebook's done all the work for you. The group's formed itself already. You just got to find them because plugging into other people's networks is the fastest way to build a business. Okay, because they exist already and the people are collected in the right place and they're very interested in what you do. Okay, you don't have to start from scratch you could do your own thing as well. You could have say a Facebook page or just a Facebook profile where you just talk about what you do. But find all these other groups because there'll be thousands or tens of thousands of people on.
What do you do then? Because I don't contribute in Facebook, but if I find a Facebook group, what happens next?
We need to find someone to teach you how to use Facebook and develop engagement in those groups. You need a bit of coaching, Cleo.
I think it might take a bit more than coaching to get me over that.
Well, there's two components for you. It's erasing the fears and the anxieties around social media.
No, it's more disgust. You're dealing with deep
I know,
disgust.
I know. It's about clearing all these programs. Okay, remember the end in mind is to reach the right people with your gift. That's the whole purpose of it. It's not about mastering social media. That's not the goal. Okay, the people are your ideal client avatar sitting. You found your audience, potentially in these groups. Okay, you've got a whole bunch of programming I've discussed around this. Clear all that stuff up. Okay, so you can focus on delivering the gift to these people. That's the only thing that matters. This is just a medium for reaching them. It's not the end in itself. Your ego is focused on discuss at the medium. You've got to get to the people who are using that medium, and then your work is getting out in the world. That's what matters. It's called a channel to market. Okay, if you let that get in the way, you're not going to reach anyone in the end, basically. Okay, there are probably lots of stuff, programs in your past life stuff, whatever. Okay, around lots of beliefs, hidden subconscious stuff. Clean all this stuff out and see how you feel. Learn how these groups work, potentially. Then you may find lots of interest and you get a lot of validation. They'll like what you do when you find the right place. And you would have found your tribe. You would have found your people, which is what all artists need to do. You've got to find your audience. Okay? Because art in itself needs an audience, and this is what we're trying to find. And this is just in the way. Okay? But it's up to you, obviously. But I'd focus on clearing this as well. Okay.
I'd be inclined to not bother to clear it, but just to go in and do what I can, because I don't think I can clear all that stuff. It's unconscious, and I can't talk to my unconscious. But if I can just go in there anyway, but I don't know what would happen. But I'm not really interested in clearing all that stuff away, because I think a lot of it is very clearly rationally held for good reasons, and I'm not. I just think it's fair. It's fair enough to have those beliefs about this stuff. It is crap. But can I still just go into Facebook and sort of say, hello, I'm an artist and I've got this?
You could do that, but I'm suggesting that some of it clearing some of it with tools like Divine Healing, for example. So it makes it easier for you to go in there. So it's not stressing you so much. And it is unconscious. The mind cannot figure it out. And these tools are designed to clear the unconscious programming. Okay. All right. That's actually what's in the way of you getting out there. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah, so it's entirely up to you, but that will make your life a lot easier. Because remember, you got a limited amount of time on Earth to deliver your gift. This is in the way, so get rid of it. Okay? That's the logical thing to do, isn't it? So the ego will try and lock you into these programs so you never get out there as artists. That's actually what it's doing.
Yes, I totally see that.
It's totally trying to stop you becoming an artist. So therefore, if it's in the way, clean out the unconscious program. It's not that hard to do, okay? All right, because we'll always have resistance to what we're here to do in life. So if you know what it is, so clean it out. You can get on with what you love to do, deliver your gift to the people who love what you do. It's quite simple in the end. The ego will try and stop you. It'll make all sorts of excuses, like it has been just now, which is normal. It's going to defend itself, so you're aware of that. So dissolve these programs with love. Okay. All right. Okay. I think we're learning a lot here, aren't we? But you're learning a lot about how you work. You both work. All right. So was that helpful? It's revealed lots of programming in the way. There's always programming in the way of our businesses. And when the ego screams at us, that's the program to clear. Okay. Because you can only grow as far in your business as you've cleared your programs. Okay. If you don't clear them, it's going to slow you down enormously and make your life miserable, which is what the ego does. So would you like a joyful experience of sharing your work with the people who love it, Cleo?
Yeah.
There you go.
But
yeah. It's not ignoring the programs, it's just not letting them take charge, which is what they're trying to do. How was that, Mario?
That's good. It's really good.
Okay. So that's just an intro to the first couple of hours of the training. That brought out a lot. There's a lot of richness there. You discovered a lot about yourselves. Okay. So it's a 2-day training we run. And the idea is to give you a taste of all the key elements of running a fifth dimensional conscious business to serve others. Okay, it's laying out the landscape, which is a completely different landscape to running a 3D money-based business. This is a fifth dimensional love service-based business model. So we've talked about becoming an entrepreneur. What is the gift of service? And we've started talking about dissolving your ego just now. It's a very key part of it. Okay, it's a very critical part of running a business. We talk about how your home energy affects your business. We did a bit of work on who the audience is, and we also talked a little bit about how to connect with your tribe. Okay, you've got to have the gift of service. You've got to have your ideal client avatar or your tribe over here. So what we've been talking about is these two main components here. And we started talking about how to connect them together. Okay. So, and the other few things we're going to talk about are business success is an inside emotional job. This is just what I was talking about. And it's also about reconciling the feminine and the masculine energies in us. The feminine gift and the masculine energy, the container to carry that gift out into the world, like learning how to use Instagram or learning how to use Facebook enough so that you can reach the right people. Okay. We talk about staying in the fifth dimensional training energy and the community that forms. Some people come along who are stuck in the corporate matrix. Okay. You just escaped Mario. Some people come to the training because they're already still stuck in it, but they want out, just like you got out. I got out 27 years ago. How do you transition out? Because no one teaches you how to do that. What is the most effective form of marketing for you? We could call it sharing of your gift. Okay. It could be posting on Instagram or posting in the right Facebook groups for Cleo, maybe. Mario picking up the key bars in Amsterdam who like what he does. Why business names are so important, the vibration of names can be programmed to attract the right people. Okay. And polarize out the people you don't want. Okay. And to build your business in a very specific way. It's an art form in itself. It's high advanced levels of soul contract. And what's the best way to roll out your service? Now you've understood who your gift of service is and your ideal client avatar. How do you get it out to these people? Okay. You've got two services. You've got the YouTube channel, and you've got the card reading. So you've got two services you're offering. How do you roll those out? What is the channel to market? Okay. Well, there's YouTube, and there's going to the right bars. Sales funnel webinars. We talk about how we run our webinars in Center for Conscious Ascension, how they work. It's more for our practitioners, but it's still applicable to a degree to what you guys do. What's your spiritual business plan? How do you connect with that business plan from the higher self? How do you get it to work? And then we have guest speakers to talk about how to take the introduction, which is what the 2-day training is about, to all the elements you need to be aware of. How do you turn that actually into a business? Okay. And I have people on my team who can mentor you. It takes about 18 to 24 months to actually successfully transition into being a spiritual entrepreneur, because it's a major mindset change. Okay. In order to be successful, you got to work at it. Okay. Only 20% of people who start their business are still going 7 years later because they've got to have the right mindset and the right discipline. And that's the reason people fail is they don't have the right mindset, or they haven't focused on the right things. So these guys will help you with that. Okay. So that was just an intro to that. So any questions, guys, based upon all of that? That includes you, Chad, and Esther, have you got any questions? And if you want them, you can put them in the chat if you want, before we finish. stunned silence. No questions? I've said enough. You guys, I've said enough. Okay, so if you want to go deeper into the process, the actual webinar runs 6th to 7th of September. It's the weekend, and it runs from 12:30 p.m. UK time to 8:30 p.m. UK time. So it's 1:30 in Netherlands, and that's 7:30 in the evening in Bali. We do about 4 1.5-hour sessions with 20-minute breaks plus a meal break at the end just before the full session. And we go through in much more depth these processes. Okay, so you can get a pretty clear idea of what the landscape is for you, things you got to think about, and everyone that'll be at a different stage in their business. So the idea is mainly you can leave with a structure that's going to give you that love and service-based business. Then it's the beginnings of a seed to build your business. So you don't have to figure out things the hard way, because the way 3D business permeates the world, most of us as healers or spiritual people, we don't know what we don't know. I've had to find out the hard way how to do this. So I produce this training to try and help you guys do it the easy way, so you don't waste time doing things which are never going to work. Okay, so we talk about all of the energy and manifestation and all the structural things you'll need for your business to actually work. So fee for the training is 367, deposits £124, and euros it's 429 euros total. And you can find out more at marketingandmanifestingyourbusiness.com. It's a fun training. It's very enlightening. You'll learn a lot. Use it a couple of hours now. That just got you started. So any final comments or questions, people? You've been great. Go on, Mario.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's something that it's more useful if you are there on present, right? Rather than watching the video later. It's like actual workshop rather than
it's a proper workshop. You got to be in the workshop, because the processes and discussion is how you learn, just like we have now.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I think I might have something on those dates, but I guess there are other dates.
Yeah, we run it twice a year, spring and autumn. So yeah. there'll be another one in spring. So, all right. Any final comments or questions, Cleo?
Probably several, but they're not coming in my mind right now. So no.
Okay. You can always email me later if you want. If you have any questions. I hope that helped to give you an idea of the structure of the internal journey and the external journey we have to take to actually get our spiritual businesses going.
It did. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. So Esther or Chad, any questions put in the chat, or as we'll finish up now. So we can always email me later if you want. Okay, people, thanks for hanging in here. If that helped. And
thank you very much. Yeah.
Hopefully it put something, helps you get out there a bit more. What's that, Mario?
Yeah, I don't know. You never know. It would be good to have your email as well, Cleo, but we're going to arrange that with Nicolas.
Yeah, I'll send you your email. I'll introduce the two of you, so you agree to that. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.